Hey guys, here is a short video about just finding the radius when you are given a circumference or area of a circle. So you still have to use your circumference and area formulas, but it's kind of like working backwards. We're used to finding the area and circumference by plugging a radius in, and now we are doing kind of the opposite. So in this problem, if you are given a circumference and you're finding the radius, we're going to need to use the circumference formula. So that formula is 2 pi r, and we know that if we had a radius and we plugged it into this formula, we would get an answer of 94, and that's just because that's what they told us that the circumference is. Okay, so now that we've set it up, all we have to do is actually solve this for r. So r is currently being multiplied by 2 and pi, so what we can do is just divide both sides by that 2 pi. So those can move away. They'll cancel on the left, and on the right, we will have an answer of 94 divided by 2 pi. What's really important if you do it this way is that you put parentheses in your calculator when you type it in. Otherwise, there are good chances that you might get the wrong answer. If you don't put parentheses in your calculator, you will get the wrong answer. So let me just demonstrate how to do that. So I'll type 94 divided by, and then notice how I'm putting in parentheses the 2 pi. If you are not comfortable with doing that, you are welcome to instead do it one at a time. So the other way you could do it is divide by 2, and then you could divide it by pi. Or it doesn't matter which order you go in. Okay, so we got the same answer. So either way, my answer here would be 14.96 meters. All right, let's try another one. All right, so this problem is pretty much asking the same thing. This time they gave us a circumference of 69, and we will set up the equation in the exact same way. So 2 times pi times r is equal to 69. And then, again, we want to solve for r and get it alone. So we'll divide by 2 pi to move that over. These cancel. And so we get r equals 69 over 2 pi. Now again, remember that when you're typing this into your calculator, you really need to type it in with the parentheses. So 69 divided by 2 pi. Or you can do it one at a time. Either way. So I end up with an answer that's like 10.98. All right, and that is it for that one. The next problem is something slightly different. This time, they gave us an area instead of a circumference. Okay, so instead of the circumference formula, then, we're going to use the area formula, which is pi r squared. So we will say that pi r squared, we don't know what r is, but if we did, and if we plugged into this formula, we would get an answer of 199, because that's what they said was our area. And so again, we have to solve for r, which means we need to get it by itself. So this time, we still need to move pi away by dividing by it. So the pi cancels on the left side. We're left with r squared equals 199 over pi. And now r is still not completely alone. We don't want it to be squared. So to undo that square, we have to square root. So really, we get that r is equal to the square root of 199 over pi. So in this case, we could just type that whole thing into our calculator, like so. Press the second and then the square button to get the square root. And then you don't need parentheses in this one because we're only dividing by one little thing. All right, and we get an answer of 7.96, we'll say. All right, so there's just a little bit of a difference between when you're given an area and you're given a circumference. That is all for today.